Oh. Brilliant. The pause. Doron. Wow. Poor Haru. Oh my gosh. Except from when you get thrown through a bush. They got control of Fugou. I would not be immensely surprised if it's Shigemaru. He's got a good voice as well. Oh gosh. Yep. And now there's no support. Poor Daisuke. Why would he be wearing a mask unless he's got his mouth taped? No, because he's using a voice. I was going to say, unless his mouth was taped over because he was being unwilling. Is it just to do with this dramatic reveal? That's shaking. Now, how long has it been, and are there just the dice and the pin? Wow, the handprints are good. Fugou does. I had bad feelings this entire episode. Every time he kept bringing up one die. Where's the other? Where is the other? Where is the other die? Or has he just escaped? Or is he... Did he... Oh. Is the dice like a tracker or something and he's placed it on the killer? Or is he just... If it's just a dice that's been placed on the killer? But I would love it to be a tracker of some sort. That would make it incredibly useful. But wow, I don't think I expected what I was saying, like the bad things to happen quite so soon. Though it doesn't feel rushed or anything. This series has felt very well paced. Like with just the one slightly slower episode, but I enjoyed it because it was like for my Fujoshi needs, and it was character building. But I really enjoy the pacing of the show. I'm glad the dice have come into play because there was only one dice left. It was so... They came up so often, at least during last episode. I wouldn't be surprised if he was always playing with them, maybe when he was sitting down at the desk or something in the background. But they were so prominent that something had to happen with them. I'm glad that Take decided to stand with Joe, probably out of a sense of... He said before that he was doing this for Nakamoto. I'm going to go back to calling him Nakamoto. We have more example of Daisuke choosing to go forward with his own plans rather than reconsidering for other people's sakes, as he did here. To be fair, if they'd have found out, they'd have realised that someone broke in to try and get to the third laboratory, and they probably would have wiped everything that was on their data, or would have moved or done something if he hadn't carried on. So he was going after the data. But Haru's just not going to see it like that, at least for a little bit. As we saw at the end of the episode, he's incredibly upset with, and most likely disappointed with Daisuke, because Haru had said before that he uses odd means, or questionable means, to get around to solving the cases, but I think he says it like you don't risk lives, or something along those lines, like you actually, I can't remember what it is, you don't take lives, or something along those lines. And in this episode, essentially, he chose to ignore two people whose lives are in danger in order to continue with his investigation, which is obviously exactly against Haru's way of thinking. He would drop an investigation as much as it would pain him in order to help those two people. I'm curious what the opening will be like next episode. I wonder if in the scene where Daisuke is walking to the back when Nakamoto's standing still, if Nakamoto will still even be there, maybe it was just symbolising the fact that his time would come to an end, whilst everyone else carried on moving forward, especially, I think actually the chief is right at the front. He's the one really trying to move on, and he was urging Nakamoto to try and let it go, which of course is completely against Nakamoto's morals, but he was so obsessed with this case that I knew once this case was over, whatever way it was over, or before this case was over, that would be it for Nakamoto. Whether or not it was his life or his job, that was going to be it. I had that feeling. So not a huge surprise that he died. I think I speculated... Was it at the start of this episode? Gosh, it feels really weird. Because I just watched episode 7, it's all kind of blurry. Yeah, so the start of this episode, I did kind of say, was it his father? And I think I had not said it before in the other ones, but I had considered his father being the killer. And his father being the traitor before. I don't think I ever spoke it aloud. But my instincts kind of told me that it would actually be someone to do with Mizuo. But at least his death was faked. That was something I got. So I wasn't too surprised, but I felt bad for poor Suzue and Daisuke to learn at least like this. I thought that maybe there was something we didn't know, another side to the story. Why it would seem like Shigemaru had stabbed his mum, but maybe he did. Unless this is an imposter, but I doubt it. I think this is probably Shigemaru. Especially because of the voice and iris recognition. Really interesting episode. Actually had the investigation going on. I'm curious what's going to happen now. There will be more investigating to do. I don't know if Daisuke got any more data out of the third laboratory. I'm guessing he did, apart from just that bit of security footage with his father on it. I did really enjoy Haru having to be bait. I mean, poor Haru, he wasn't even in control of all the stuff that's going on. I mean, that's probably good because he wouldn't know how to use it in such a short amount of time. But they never give him any warning whenever he's given any tech. Just do that. They just expect him to do it straight away. They have a lot of faith in him. I really need Haru and Daisuke to talk now. I wanted it to happen this episode, but I'm not surprised that Daisuke was very kind of wanting to go on with the mission. I do need them to talk, but I don't know who's going to be more difficult about it now. I think it'll still be Daisuke, obviously. But Haru will need to calm down after a little bit. Because he'd looked up to Nakamoto. So this will hurt him a lot. And also, of course, Take, because that was his former boss. I wonder what's going to happen to the first division now that he's gone. I wonder who's going to become the new head, or if Hoshino will have anything to say or ask about this case. I wonder if he'll be brought in because he'll become too curious. He'd like to say, well, all of you went off, and then suddenly Take's dead, as well as Nakamoto. Or what happened? Is he going to get somehow involved or want to know more about it, but they're going to have to refuse him? Will he confront Haru properly about his actual thoughts on Haru leaving the first division? I might be looking too much into it, but also I've always liked the ending as well, and I always like the scene when Daisuke is walking in the back whilst Haru is chasing down a criminal who's robbed a place and actually starts handcuffing him. I just always thought it was a very good portrayal of their respective personalities, that Haru's full gung-ho kind of thing, whilst Daisuke's a little bit more laid back and controlled, a bit more composed during his work. I was wondering if it was less to do with the fact that he's being composed and rather the fact that he just will go towards his goal, in this case of finding out the truth about his mother's death, why it happened, etc. And not taking any note of what's going on around him. Not of Haru doing his police work or of other criminals going past. He doesn't even flinch. He is going straight ahead for it. He'll do his job to stay in the police because I think he needs to be in the police in order to get the connections, and also he knew there was an investigation. I'm guessing he knew there was a division dedicated, or at least they had a case file on the murder to see what he can get from that, which maybe he wouldn't be able to get through Hughes. Well, he probably definitely wouldn't get through Hughes because Hughes hasn't been able to help him recently. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen. I haven't got many predictions now, except we're going to have to try and track it down. I am unsure about Shigemaru's involvement. I wouldn't be surprised whether he actually was dead or alive still, because despite the fact we've been told that it was him, they would not show his face properly before he knocked out Suzue and killed Take and Nakamoto, which is a very weird thing to do because we've already had this revealed to us. So unless, if they had, for example, I was questioning about the mask, why would he be wearing a mask in his own mansion, except from supposed to look back on security cameras, but he'd have control of Hyusuke, and Hyusuke had been shut down, so I don't think the security cameras were even working at that point. So I think that's a really strange detail. So whether, I don't know, maybe they had the tech to impersonate someone, or to create a facial copy of someone, or a clone or something, or because at this point I wouldn't be surprised by any kind of feat of technology in this show if it comes from Kanbei Company, or if he's got a disfigurement, whether there's something different with his face, just that's it. I don't know, it's a really, really weird detail, but as most things with the show, I'm sure it is a detail that will come into play, not just being extra dramatic for the hell of it. I'm curious to see what that die is going to do, if that die is going to do, if anything. I just want to see the boys being able to talk and just work together properly, because recently, I mean, to be fair from the start as well, Daisuke has mainly been using Haru. He's been very useful as someone to hold the tech, to be a distraction, to be the one to save the people out the vehicle, to infiltrate the club and steal the phone in the second episode. I want to see them working together on a case, more as equals than has been so far, because Haru's been very good so far. Although he's complained, he could outright refuse, but his sense of justice is also helping him do it. But he does believe, or he did believe in Daisuke. He will again. I'm sure he will, but at the moment, his belief in him will be a bit shaken, just because people have now actually died. Until now, it was a possibility, and now it has happened. But Daisuke has shown he has got some level of respect for Haru, and the fact that he's let Haru be involved in this without any kind of further argument shows that he trusts Haru, because Haru could mess it up. He could have messed up the distraction, and in other things he might have spilled things to other people. He's trusting him to keep quiet about it. He does have quite a high trust, and I do believe some respect for Haru, but not to the extent that he would let it interfere with, that he would listen to Haru over his own mind in what he's doing. I need Haru to be able to have a chat with him and get Daisuke thinking straight, because Suzue was in danger as well, and she's family. But yeah, it was really, I hope that maybe the only thing I could think of to be a plot saving device for the part where they had to talk without Hughes listening to them was the fact that maybe Daisuke's earring was not his Hyusuke one, but I doubt it. I think it must have been his Hyusuke one. Yeah, he was definitely wearing an earring. I'm sure it was going to be the Hyusuke one, which is a little bit weird that they hadn't thought of that, because that is his primary way of contacting Hyusuke, unless it has to be activated by him pinching it, but he's talked to it without having to do that before. Yeah, I'm just really excited for the next episode to see how this series goes. We've only got it's another 3 episodes. I think this is only 11 episodes long, unfortunately. So only 3 more episodes. So I'm pretty sure the case is going to be the rest of it. I think maybe the case will properly finish in the first half of the last episode. But I'm really enjoying it. So I will see you all next week. Bye.